16 in 6 months. So what are you going to do in a year? What will you do in a year then? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing okay and everyone is doing well. As always, another day, another Love Island review and our final review of the week. How are you guys feeling? End of week 2. Are you on it? Are you not? Some of you have already told me straight up that you're not even watching this season, but you're watching my reviews. So thank you so much. I love you. Okay, I love you. And yeah, a lot of us done picking unpack. So as I usually end the way, say number 1, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. Also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also on my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. And number 3, please get cozy and comfy with hot Ibina or some snacks. And let's get into today's review. So let's start off with the recoupling. This is pretty much the aftermath of yesterday. So we already found out that Tom was paired to be with Molly by the public and Sophie was paired to be with Josh by the public. Now, let's kick off with Tyler. Tyler chose Hannah. And guys, let me make sure, raise the volume right now, guys. Raise the volume on your device, wherever you're watching this. Sarah Destiny, I am off the Kyla train. Guys, I have asked for a refund. I am even waiting to board a train home. It's okay. Okay, I'm sorry. The embarrassment. Okay, there's too much going on. There's way too much going on. And I already told you guys this. It's not that I think Hannah is a bad person. I think she is a sweetheart and everything. But this storyline, the way it popped out of nowhere, I mean, he seems to really be taking it very seriously and everything. Guys, I'm off. If you're still on that train, let me know down in the comments. As for me and my household, our tickets have been refunded and I don't think I will be purchasing another one. It's okay. Okay, it's actually all right. Of course, Callum ended up Callum ended up choosing Georgia. Chris said that he was in a very sticky situation, which he was, the situation just happened to Arabella, the girl that I like, Sophie, she's been recoupled up with Josh. What exactly I'm going to do? And I was shocked. Okay, but Chris, of course, ended up choosing Cares, honey. And even when he chose her, she was even shocked. She was like, me? I don't blame you, babe, because I wouldn't have expected Chris to call me either. But the truth of the matter is so you guys know, Chris's speech was a bit diggy, but at the same time, I don't feel like the blows were that bad. But of course, when Kaz went to go and sit down to Chris, she was like, what type of speech was that? That was really bad. You embarrassed her up there, blah, blah, blah. I don't really have much to say, I'll be honest with you. Even when Kaz was talking to him, I was just thinking, like, I don't know if this is her battle to fight. And yeah, she is up there looking embarrassed because all of the antics that she was doing with the shouting, and it was so uncalled for. You guys, if you watched yesterday's review, you would have known how I thought. I did already ask you guys in the comments yesterday as well, like, whose side were you on? I do agree that Chris was very, very, very nonchalant, and many people can say that he was gaslighting and also dismissive of her feelings when she was speaking to him. But on the other hand, oh my God, does not wear flip-flops, so he cannot what? He can't flop, because all of that overhand holding, I rest my case. But let me know down below, do you think Cash should have spoken to Chris? I don't know. Let me know your feedback. Now, Toby ended up choosing Arabella. I'm going to get into that later because Arabella is an Agbaya in my eyes. I'm so sorry. And when I'm saying an Agbaya, if you're Yoruba, you know. If you don't, go and Google it. I'm saying it because she's 32 and he's 24. And I know age is nothing but a number to many people, but age is everything kind of number in this situation. And I just kind of feel like, considering we watched their seasons ages ago, how old was Toby when you and... Do you get what I mean? I don't know. We'll get into that shortly though. Anton, of course, gave a speech about Georgia, which I won't lie was actually quite cute. I thought that Anton's speech was quite cute. And I've really been warming up. I've never disliked Anton, but I've really been liking him a lot more in the past few episodes, especially yesterday when he to Mitch's singlet. I loved it. And Mitch, of course, his speech to Lib, I won't lie, Mitch was waffling. I'm sorry. The way Mitch was talking, I was thinking, is this guy, go on one knee and propose them. He just said, what did he say again? Looking at you is like looking in the mirror. And what made me scream was Josh was not holding back. Josh was laughing. And I would have done the same because you literally just told all of us that there's no spark. You think she's achieving. And all of a sudden, that's my rib. That's the Eve to my Adam. That's my... who's talking there? Okay, now let's move on to Chris and Kaz talking. And you know, she did say that she felt like it was just blow after blow and dig after dig and everything, and he said, to be honest, they've come to a point of no return. It's very interesting to see Chris's switch up though. You guys know I did mention this in yesterday's review, and a lot of you actually mentioned this in the comments as well. Chris's switch up has been quite interesting to see just in the past 24 hours. But obviously, I guess Kaz must really care about Arabella. Maybe they have a friendship that we haven't actually seen on the screen, which is why she's really riding for her. But she did have a conversation with him, and you guys know at the end, he does end up apologizing to her. Now, let's move on to Hannah, Arabella, and Molly talking. This is why I said, this is honestly why I said that Arabella's an Aguaya. So she was just like, you know, like, I'm shocked and everything. But, you know, Toby, like, me and Toby, we've had history. This is how she's talking. Me and Toby, we've had history. Like, we've had history. You know, we know each other. We're da-da-da-da-da. And, you know, like, Toby's home. Who is actually talking there? A 24-year-old is home. Can you hear yourself? And like I said, I know people be getting in relationships with people that are like 10 years, they're senior and da-da-da-da-da. Maybe because it's just not my cup of tea, all right? It's not my cup of tea. I only date guys who are my age or like a year or two above. I think the max I dated was a guy that was maybe like 2 years above. But each should earn, okay? Each should earn. Now, let's move on to the boys talking. Mitch basically called Josh a head and said that, you know, what you done up there was bad. Da, 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 da. I'm glad that Josh stood on business. It's like first Anton tore Mitch's singlet and now Josh was tearing his singlet. Josh was basically like, bro, you don't remember what you said up there. He's just like, yeah, I don't. But so why were you going on like you were about to marry this girl and you're upset at the fact that I'm laughing, even though you told the guys multiple times that you don't think it's going to work with Lib and that you basically want to crack on, that things just feel awkward, etc., etc. So the fact that he couldn't even remember what he said and that speech was allegedly heartfelt, just let me know that genuinely, guys, I don't even think Mitch is messy, sorry. I feel like Mitch is mad, and I've been over his character even in his season. His season was literally just the last season that ended, so it's surprising that he's come back so quickly. But I've been over him for a while now, and I'm very glad that Josh laughed and laughed again. Okay? What do you mean looking at you is like looking in the mirror? Bro, be so serious. By the way, my pillow's down here in case you're wondering what that yellow thing is just jumping out. Now, let's move on to Arabella and Toby having a conversation. She, of course, was like, she said that they can't be friends. You know, there's a lot of flirty banter between them and that they have history. But I'm going to get into the conversation with Toby in the following day because obviously he spoke with Molly and pretty much said if it was going to be a thing with Arabella, it would have been a thing by now. So I don't actually think Toby cares. I feel like, yeah, they have history and that's fine. But I don't think Toby's mindset is, I want to get with Arabella. I mean, no. Lastly, let's move on to Tom and Molly. They were pretty much just talking that he wanted to know her coffee order because he wanted to get her coffee in the morning. And the truth of the matter is I actually think they look really good together, I'll be honest. I think Tom and Molly look really good together, but we know there's one lingering witch. Okay, because the way Georgia's moving in this villa, she's moving like a witch. And we're going to get into that shortly. Now, nighttime. Just before getting ready for bed, Chris said to Sophie that he's still going to grasp for her. I'm not surprised. He definitely does like the babe. Sophie, I have already told you guys, very pretty babe, but I just can't stand her mic on. I don't know where it is. I'm sorry. I can't. Of course, Liberty was asking Tom and Hannah if she thinks that Mitch really likes her. And Tom was like, yeah, he defo. The truth of the matter is I love Liberty, but I feel like with the whole Mitch situation, she's actually been moving like quite slow in terms of her mental capacity to deep the situation. Because if I have to keep questioning if you like me, common sense will have to hit me at one point. So asking for validation from other people, it really doesn't do anything, okay? If you're not feeling certain in your relationship or your coupling, not me getting into therapist mode, but anyway, if you're not feeling certain in your couple or your situation, then address it with the person. If the person still gives you red flags and mixed signals, then you need to just let it go, because I just don't feel like Mitch is worth all this hassle. Of course, Georgia was telling Hannah that she thinks Tom would have picked her. It's displaying signs of madness. I'm so sorry. Like, she was just like, yeah, I feel like if Tom had a chance, he would have picked me. Maybe he would have, maybe he didn't, but guess what? That didn't happen, so let it go. Like, honestly, you can see that, yeah, he may have actually, you guys did have history just up to 7 months ago, but he's with Molly now. He wants to get to know the babe. Let him go. You just popping up everywhere. Like, is Callum not somewhere? Is Callum not somewhere? Well, we'll get into that shortly as well. Tyler, of course, was calling Hannah a diamond girl, like he's so lucky to have her and everything. Not much to say, honestly. It's just, like I said, I think the switch up has just been so interesting. And this is just, maybe it's just me, right? Yeah, but when someone's preference are on their, like literally, they're on the end of two different extremes, like two different extremes, I just have to look at you like very interestingly, to be honest, because what was your purpose for coming back into the villa? Anyway, That's my own 2 pence share. And of course, Kaz and Chris were really cute in their little matching bonnets. I won't lie, I did find that really cute. Now let's move on to the morning chats, guys. There's a lot to go through today because, yeah, it was only an hour episode, but still quite jam-packed with the different conversations. But now let's move on to the morning chats. Tom, he said that he's going full steam ahead with Molly and that he owes it to her, and I actually agree as well. Yeah, you may have had history with Georgia S in the past, but you're in the villa now, you're coupled up with Molly. If you're going to make it work, just make it work. Georgia, she says she loved Anton's speech. I really loved Anton's speech as well. It was really heartfelt. And considering the fact that Georgia pretty much just locked it off with him not long ago, and he was still able to say such nice things about her, definitely speaks of his character. I really like Anton. Tyler said that Hannah makes him feel really comfortable, and it's such a new thing when someone makes you feel so comfortable, like right off the bat. And interesting comments. Like I said, I have no hatred for Hannah here. Like I told you guys, I think she's a sweetheart, but it'll be very interesting to see how that coupling lasts. Yeah, I'll say that. And Georgia said that she gets butterflies with Toby and Tom, but she doesn't get butterflies with Callum. And all I could think of was, wow, Callum actually doesn't deserve you. But now from the ending, I've realized that all of you guys literally have skeletons in your own closet. I've realized that you all have skeletons, because that announcement at the end is still shaking me as I'm sitting here, okay? Now let's move on to Molly and Toby having a conversation about the recoupling. And of course, she was just asking him about the whole Arabella situation. And he pretty much said, listen, if it was going to be a thing, it would have been a thing outside, but I'm still really trying to get to know you. So there was some flirting between them. I do think Toby and Molly are also quite a good match as well. Toby seems really calm around her. And once again, I don't actually feel like Toby is interested in getting to know Arabella on that level again. Maybe because they've done certain stuff, they have history and all that type of stuff, but he definitely wants to keep his options open, and Molly is definitely an option for him. Now moving on to Georgia and Tom, she's really forcing this thing, and it reminded me of why I didn't actually take to her in her season. If I'm just going to be honest, I didn't take to Georgia that well in her season, because I feel like she was very, not necessarily secretive, but low-key a flip-flop. Because now Tom is in the villa. Callum, who you said you have such a great connection with and we're so good, all of a sudden he doesn't give you butterflies. Now Tom is in the villa, you're asking, oh, like, if you weren't coupled up with moles, would you have picked me? Like, I'm still open for a chat with you, and oh my gosh, you look so fit, and did it, like, what do you want? Because like, it's almost like every single, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm sorry. I don't know. But today she reminded me of her character. That's all I'm going to say. But she did once again try and initiate meetups and said, you know what, it's a bit awkward because you're with Molly and I'm with Callum and they're exes. So that it doesn't look too awkward when we want to speak, make sure you approach me, etc., etc. But once again, you're flip-flopping, because a couple episodes ago, sorry, you told us that Callum was the guy and I really like Callum and now all of a sudden it's Tom saying, oh my gosh, Tom's back, yeah, there's still a spark. Did you not know that there was a spark prior to you coming into the villa? Why is it now that you're in the villa you realize that there's still a spark? And even if there is still a spark, respect yourself and also respect Callum. Like, it's actually okay. But anyway, that's just my viewpoint. Now let's move on to Mitch and Liberty having a conversation, and he said he wants to talk to other people. And Liberty basically, I'm glad that her brain was switched on with this conversation, because Mitch is just literally bouncing you like a ball at this point. I've never met someone, I haven't even met him, I've never seen someone on Love Island be so unserious. Like, I don't necessarily care for their characters in Love Island, because there's different people. They're literally just random people who go on the show, come out famous with the Brandles, etc., etc. But I've never taken to Mitch's character. I think he's very messy. I think he's very sloppy as well. He forgets his words, yet he causes arguments, and then he says, oh, I'm the only one who can take the heat. No, you're the only one who's causing the heat. What's not clicking? I don't understand. So of course, she suggested that they should just be friends, and then he basically was just like, oh, like, I've been so stressed, and now I realize that, you know, my stress is gone. Like, yeah, I think we should just be open. You haven't actually been stressed. You've caused confusion upon yourself. No one has caused you to be stressed, because Liberty's been quite calm with the whole situation. And even the conversations that she's had with people, it hasn't been with you, it's been other people to try and help her get her cards in check when it comes to you. So I don't know what he meant when he said he's fed up of being stressed, if I'm going to be honest, because you caused that yourself. Of course, she did end up telling Kaz, and she did say she does feel quite sad about it, but went to go take some time for herself. And like I said, I don't blame her. I know feelings and stuff are involved, but like I have been saying for the past few episodes, I don't think all of this is worth it for someone like Mitch. I mean, the guy's been unserious from the jump. You don't know whether he likes you or he doesn't. He makes you cry. Like, do you get what I mean? So I'm glad that Liberty called it off. Of course, anything else to flag? Chris and Sophie talking about love languages. Like I said, pretty babe, but her voice is actually quite annoying. But Chris seems to really like her, which is very interesting. Georgia speaking to Callum about Tom and how it was between her and Molly. I don't know why she went to go and tell Callum that, to be honest, because then she started saying like, I'm so happy I'm with you, I'm so happy I'm in bed with you, I'm glad how things have worked out, da 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 da. But that's not what you're telling other people. You literally told them and the girls in the morning that you don't get butterflies over him, and on top of that, you're still trying to get to know Tom on the sly. Now, no one's saying don't get to know who you want to know, but be honest and open with Callum, because now my man's there looking like an absolute idiot, thinking, oh yeah, there's me and G are going well, and she's thinking, nah, babes, or not. Anyway, she ended up describing Tom as coffee because he gives her that instant kick, and describing Callum as a Yorkshire tea because it kind of slowly eases in. I don't drink coffee. I love a Yorkshire tea. I love tea in general. I mean, I live in the UK. But yeah, now let's move on to the nighttime. So sorry guys, I've literally just been slouching this whole video, so I'm gonna sit up now. My back kind of hurts. Now let's move on to the nighttime. So Mitch, whilst the guys were getting ready, was basically talking to the guys about how he told Liv that, yeah, it's better that we're just gonna be friends. I don't know what show that was on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Liv was the one that initiated it. Like, she was even more mature for her to say it, because you were just waffling. The words weren't coming out your mouth. So very interesting. Like I said, I don't know how I feel. Actually, I do know how I feel about Mitch's character. I haven't been a fan since he's actually been on the season or been on the show, and I don't see that changing at all because he's just way too messy. Liberty gave the speech, which I absolutely loved. She said, cheers to being a bad B, a boss babe, and knowing your worth and your standards. Yeah, 100%, because I'm not going to be crying over you. Now, let's quickly move on before we get into the truth or dare. We're literally like 17 minutes into this review already. It's actually it wasn't a long episode, but a lot to speak about. Of course, Arabella and Chris were speaking. Guys, he hates her. Okay. Like, literally, she was just like, hi, I just wanted us to have a conversation. So they were having a convo. He looked so disassociated from the whole chat. And then she was just like, you know, you're still mad at me. It's still tension. He's like, I'm calm. I'm all right. She's like, no, there's still tension. Like, you're acting this, right? And he's just like, I'm calm. Like, I promise you, I'm calm. So they agreed to be friends. And then whilst they were walking away, he did apologize for the speech, aka the speech that he gave at the recoupling, the one that Kaz told him off for as well. And she was like, yeah, it wasn't nice, was it? But I guess they solved it. They walked separate ways anyway. But you can definitely see there's still tension there, and not in a positive way. Now, moving on to the truth or dare game, we'll just get into a few of the things, because I don't know if you can see, but a lot happened in the truth or dare game. The first is that Tyler had to snog Kaz for 20 seconds. Sis looked so, like, her hand was even on her lips. Imagine kissing someone and their hands are on their hips. Guys, I'm off that. Listen to me well. I said raise the volume. I'm off the Kyler train. I don't want no part of it. Okay? I don't want no part of it. I'm off it. Okay, Kaz is even off the train, so I don't know why people are still holding on. Okay. Now, Josh had to sexy dance for Sophie. I don't know what it was in the beginning. He was literally moving like a horse. He was literally like this. I don't know why he was doing that. Of course, Tyler told Georgia that she had to kiss two guys that she was most attracted to. She literally, Georgia H, by the way, she literally ate Chris's face, like literally mouth. And then she kissed Mitch as well. But she did mention that Mitch one basically wasn't because I'm attracted to you. It wasn't because I like you, just based on attraction. Anton kissed Arabella as the most unloyal. Georgia asked if she had a choice to pick someone else last night, who should have picked, and Sophie. And Sophie said Josh, and I thought that was really cute. She was just like, yeah, I would have really picked him. Like, yeah, they did pan the camera to Chris. I don't know why he looked so bothered, but I really liked that from Sophie. I think she's a sweet girl. I won't lie. Her accent is different, but she's a sweet babe. Of course, Liberty was asked to kiss two boys apart from Mitch that she fancies, and she kissed Chris and also Toby. Guys, there was a whole new Liberty on our screens tonight. She jumped, like literally jumped on Toby. On Chris, she even walked back initially, and then she done a little catwalk in the presence of everyone. You know, sis was wearing leotard and tights. Okay. Lib was a whole new person today. Am I pleased with the people she picked? Not necessarily, but I'm happy that sis is free from the shackles of Mitchell. Okay. Anything else? Hannah and Tyler, he strip teased for her. I still can't believe that's a thing, but it's a thing. Josh said that his fave Islander is Hannah and his worst is Mitch. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just glad that Josh is tearing Mitch's singlet in 4K. He was just like, yeah, because you're messy, you're a liar, you do this, you do that, da, 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 da. And then Mitch was like, oh, I get all the heat because I'm the only one that could take it. Is it the delusion or what? Like, that is a whole new level of delulu. That's an entire new level of the doo-doo. Chris was asked to song the islander he thinks is playing a game as well, and he songed Arabella. So that is 2 kisses for Arabella for being unloyal and also someone who is playing a game. Georgia was asked to, initially even after that, there was almost like a mini argument that was forming, and he was, I think she was like, I don't know why you kissed me, really spoke. And then he was like, yeah, but what I said still stands. And she was like, yeah, maybe we should speak after this again. And he was like, no, we already spoken. What's there to speak about? The convo would have literally just been going in circles. Georgia had to give a freeway kiss to 2 guys that she wasn't in a couple with, and she chose Tom and Toby. Freeway kisses sound absolutely disgusting. I don't want to say kudos to people that do it, because why is one person not enough for you to kiss? Why must it be 2 at the same time? Ew. And of course, Callum, initially, I think they initially asked him if he wasn't with Georgia, would he get back with Molly or something like that? And then he was like, oh, that's an easy question. I need a harder one. Give me a harder one. They now gave him a harder one and said, since you and Molly have broken up, which was only just 6 months ago, how many girls have you slept with? My guy said 16. You slept with 16. And then he was just like, yeah, we need to remember, I was on holiday. You slept with 16 girls in 6 months. My ick levels for Callum have risen to level 100. You slept with 16 girls in 6 months. You couldn't even lie for the cameras and for the show. 16 in 6 months. So what are you going to do in a year? What will you do in a year then? What are you going to do in a year? 32 per year. Okay, babes. You do you, honey. Kisses. But yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on tonight's episode. Yeah, we're 2 weeks in. What do you guys feel? How are you feeling? I think the storylines are starting to overlap quite a bit, so week 3 should be quite interesting. You guys know Sundays we go on live, so make sure you are here so that we can go on live. I always keep the updates of the timings in the community tab on my channel, so if you haven't yet subscribed, clearly you're not going to know. So be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family if you haven't already, and also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also on my Twitter. But other than that, guys, I want to thank you for another phenomenal week of so much love. Honestly, I know some of you aren't watching the season and you're watching these reviews, and that really means a lot to me. But we go again on Sunday, guys, so have a lovely Friday evening, have a lovely weekend. Please take care, stay blessed, and I shall see you on Sunday. Bye.